I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I plan my motorcycle trips and my favorite way to do so. I mainly use Google Maps because there's no other map service that provides so much information all around the world. And I really like to use Google Earth as well because it gives you a really good perspective on the places you're going to. Like this time I'm going from Bergen to Førde, and if you hit the button down here, you can do 2D, and it will take a spin around just so you can get a certain perspective of the place you're visiting. And like this one, I kind of see the road going up the mountain, and I'm really eager to know, is this possible to ride on a motorcycle or is it locked down? And sometimes I really try to figure out those things before I go. So then I use a map service called Finnkart. That's just a Norwegian service, and they have incredible good satellite footage. So you go into, this is Førde, I go into Flyfoto, and if you zoom down, you can really get a good look of the road I just saw on Google Earth. And it looks quite good actually. And I like to use MyRoute-app. MyRoute-app is a trip planner that has a great community. So if I make a route on MyRoute-app, I put it in public. Trip to Refviksanden. And the main reason I do it like this is because if I have it public, I have a lot of friends on MyRoute-app. So if they see I'm planning a trip to their country or down in Europe, they can comment on the trip or the route I make. This is just like Google Maps. I just put a spot, I can modify the text. That's the first waypoint. And I'm going to and now you see it just made the route for me. And of course this is just the fastest route to get there. And if I want to make adjustment to the route, I just drag the route over and it will make a new waypoint, and it will shift the route. There is one problem with using Google Maps. If you go down the Alps, or if you're going to Norway, and if you want to visit a place called Trollstigen, for example, I want to put that in. And I want to go all the way to a place called Åndalsnes. You see, it won't take the route from the 4th waypoint to the 5th waypoint because in winter time this road is closed, and Google Maps knows that, so they try to put you on the fastest route to get there. So if you're planning a trip in the winter time like I do, then I have to shift to Here Maps, and I have to go to Toolkit, and I need to put Disable Seasonal Closures. Now you can see it goes straight to this place. This is one of the reasons I really like MyRoute-app, because you have these possibilities. And I use Basecamp. I know a lot of guys don't like Basecamp because it's really slow. Like you see, if I want to pan the map, it's really lagging, and yeah, it takes some time to use. But the strength of Basecamp is the ease of having a big library with all your waypoints, track, routes. And if I want to make a bigger trip for a week or 2 weeks, I can put everything into one folder and organize it much better than I can in a lot of other programs. And you can easily, no matter what GPX track you have, from no matter what unit you have, it's much easier to import that to Basecamp. And you can go into the route and you can adjust it. I can remove some of the shaping point. I can take parts of the trip. I can split it. I can use, you have much more freedom of use every time you get a GPX file. Basecamp is still a really good option. I use Facebook a lot. Not to plan my trips, but to get information about the places I'm going to. I use YouTube a lot. YouTube is a great place to get inspiration for future trips. Just to be clear, this is not a video about how each program and each app are working. So if you like to see or get a better understanding for each program, try them out for yourself. There's a lot of video online about how these programs work. So on my mobile phone I have of course Google Maps, and one of the biggest reasons I use Google Maps on my mobile phone and on my computer is the street view. The street view is just amazing for my kind of work and planning. A map called Google Maps, as it's really good for navigation around. I also have MyRoute-app. One of the genius part about the MyRoute-app is you have the possibility to make routes on your mobile phone, and you can use the navigation app from the same company, and you can go to your routes, you can plan your tracks, you can, yeah, it's a big system that is working together. But I can also, when I'm out on the trail or out riding, I can easily make a good route on MyRoute-app, and then I go back to the smart link and I can transfer the route directly to my GPS unit on my bike with Wi-Fi connection, and that makes a whole lot of difference when you're out riding, when you're out on the trail. If you get a good tip from another driver or stuff like that, basically and everything works together with my Garmin 396 unit that I have on my bike. Why I don't use a mobile phone when I'm out riding? Well, I had a quad lock. That was one piece of gear I was not happy with, because of course it feels really good and it's snug, and the connection plate, you just lock it on and it stays on. The problem is when you're out riding, a lot of dirt is collecting inside this lock, and you're gonna shake it loose. So every time I was driving, it was shaking like crazy. So quad lock, not that happy. And yeah, of course, another problem, when it starts raining, rubbish. I found another cheap solution on T. Hansen. No, it's not me, it's not my company. It's a Danish thing, I think, yeah. So this clamp I just put on my handlebar, and this was really good actually, really cheap. 10 euros, I think. Put the phone in and you connect it really close, and here's a plug for power outlet, so you can charge it on the go. When I was riding, this was the best solution, and it was the cheapest solution if you want to use a mobile phone when you're driving. I know there's a lot of good options out there, and other options to the programs I use. Maybe the most popular is MyRoute-app. I've tried it some time, but I think it got too expensive, so and I didn't quite like the setup of it. Kalimoto, and I personally has never tried it. I saw when I was looking for a good app on my mobile phone, I found this app, but it didn't have the possibility to make a route from where you are towards the track you were going. So that's the reason I didn't use the Kalimoto app. Motorcycle Diaries. That's just a huge collection of GPX files from the most scenic and most popular roads in different places of Europe. It's free for everyone to join. At last, you have the Road Tripper. I got this as a tip from an American, I think. I'm not sure. I found it on online one day, but I really struggled to use it, and I find it kind of hard to use, and it put up the route. If you can see here from Bergen to Copenhagen, and you see a big grey path next to you, to the route, and inside this space they will show you options of things to see, places to stay, places to eat, and stuff like that. So I have to use more time on that page to give a good review of it, but by now I haven't quite figured out how to use it in a good manner yet, so I will give it a little bit more time, but this is just a tip for you. I know this is really popular some places, but I don't know if it's good in Norway or even in Europe. I think this is more towards the American